review that, if you agree with it, change it, tweak it, because the expectation is this is going to go through the board, there may be some changes. Where you get in trouble is you have them think they're doing it and that it's done, and you set yourself up for failure because you didn't tell them, by the way, this is going to then have board review, and they're going to add their comments to this, and then it's going to be for everyone.
So their vision would be to...
So they would create this, and I would create this with the administrative team. As a district, here's what we're trying to do. I would bring it to you and say, you agree with this. You might say, no, we're not going to do this. I'll give you some examples real quick. Every kid on a graduates from high school has to speak 2 languages. Okay? You go, okay, well, we should have programs for international education. So if kids want to go overseas to study, we have a program where kids can come here and they can go there. Okay? These aren't on the table, by the way, either. Every kid should be involved at least in one online course before they graduate. So you're creating this. Well, that comes to you, right? You look at it and say, "Kid me, we're not going to hire. We can't do this." So then you sort of tweak it and say, "No, this is more realistic, or this is where we're headed," and then you finalize it, and then that's where we go.
But those are all goals, not a vision.
Well, when you write it, you can take goals and write the language so it's a vision.
An operational vision.
Yeah, I could give you one. I've written.
So all
goals, action, and goals come out of that. How do you do that?
So all 3 schools have a different vision
for their school, but it ties to the board, to the district.
Okay, so I mean, because they need to know both. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if I went down and talked to them, just ask somebody, the principal or our teacher, they should know what our goal is. They should know.
But you know what? And you should know theirs.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I'm going to do is ask them who's got what.
Right.
Who's got a vision? Who's got their goals? I'm going to put that all in a packet, and I'm saying here's our source documents that we know.
Mm-hmm.
And then that might influence your thinking when you think as a board what you want your common vision to be and what goals that you're setting. And I think it will influence your thinking. Because they're not just academics. Okay? I think we've covered the communication piece in a whole bunch of forms. Building culture of achievement. So this is about making a positive, credible, building this into every meeting. It sort of ties to the second one as well.
I know how you can put the test scores raise in the thing. Couldn't you say that within the first next 3 years, X% of our students will be scoring proficient or better?
Perfect. Yes, we could. That's a great way to frame that. So you have a decrease in the needs in failing and an increase in proficient advance. That's a great way. I'll craft something. That can be a board goal.
And that's great. It's heading in the right direction.
Yep. Okay. That's a great suggestion.
Good goal, Marge.
Oh, hey, wait.
And you might want to, well, let me craft something, but that's a great suggestion.
It's just going to start dribbling.
Yeah.
Flowing out of my mouth now. Random ideas will float out.
So what I need to do is take a look to see where are we now. You know, how many kids are in the proficient, advanced, and so forth, and then what's reachable, working with the staff, because see, now the teachers look at that and they say, wow, school committee expects an increase of 10% in the advanced and proficient over the next 3 years.
Do you know that 64% of schools in the state of New Hampshire are schools in need of improvement? Did you know that?
So that could mean a lot of things.
According to the...
It could mean the test is horrible, which it's not.
No, it's because we have to have 100% proficient by 2014, which is an impossible vision. So that's why, as it gets closer and closer to 2014,
The percentages get
fewer
higher
and fewer schools are going to be able to meet
Marge, they're already talking about reauthorizing this, and it's going to go to 85%. So what happens is they
We're already there
change, they change the standard as they get closer to it, because they can't have all the nation's schools failing. And you knew this was coming as soon as they passed this law.
Yeah.
That it was meant as sort of the whack of the hornet's nest, and then as they got all the states moving, because they knew when they provided this, they didn't provide enough money to have that happen. So it was clear from the get-go that they would start changing the criteria to have more schools become successful, because their original criteria
Yeah, but
wasn't.
then people say you're lowering the standards. Did you know
No,
that in Florida?
standards are gonna stay the same.
No, but you're
So
lowering
we're
the standards of what we
achieving
want to
standards.
achieve. We're not achieving 100%, so we're gonna lower what we, I mean, that's
Right.
the argument.
Yeah, but I'm just realistic though.
Well, it never was realistic and
That's
everybody
right.
accepted
Yeah, I
We're
it.
know.
gonna make it more realistic. Well, they didn't accept it, I never accepted it, did you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, I believed every word.
So do we have any defining district successes, by the way, thank you for that. Any others while we're on that topic before we leave? Any other real specific attainable goals?
I am so glad that one of my attainable goals was taken care of. The graffiti that was on the side of the building that said "Easy to Breathe," that was there since before I bought my house, is no longer there. Somebody achieved the goal of taking the graffiti off the building.
That's good.
It only took them 8 years.
You know, I gotta go, what if we ask the teachers what they think we should have for goals?
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna start with getting that and putting it together, and then it comes to you.
Right, yeah, okay, I
And
understand.
then you use that information
Yeah.
to decide what you're gonna do.
Right, yep, okay.
Okay, could we
There's no step
have,
behind, that's all right.
could we have some kind of
You suggest,
Too much Texas barbecue.
realistic and achievable short-term and long-term goals to define the district's success? Could we have some kind of thing that indicates parental involvement in something or other has increased from 50% of the parents are involved to 75% of the parents are involved?
5%.
I'm thinking,
let me make a
goal,
note of
middle-
parental involvement, and then
that
we'll
would
see how do we
be,
codify
because
it.
if we're talking about improving achievement in the district, which we are, and we've already recognized that it's not just the school board and the teachers, but also parent involvement is important for student success, and there's somehow or other we have to get parents involved more with their kids, which is one of the things we read on here.
Mhm.
I know that, for example, parent-teacher conferences in the elementary school, they really used to drive to get 100% of parents in every time. Are they having that same kind of push at the middle school and the high school? That's just one indicator,
Okay,
but,
I can talk to the
Yes.
Leadership team about that.
yeah, something
What
that
we can do
involves,
that.
something,
The classes get awards at the high school if they get a certain percentage in.
I mean, it's,
Of parents that attend and so forth, okay. All right, so we're trying to provide incentives to, I mean, generally it's a school, it's sort of a little bit on the schools that you try to provide some care for kids, so parents can come when it's early evening. Generally give them some food, and if you can have things that the kids and they can do together, like a math night, where, the parents and kids come in and they work together and they have some fun exploring, some math problems together, and, I mean, you can do some really fun
we
things.
can, and those kinds
We've
of
done
things
those
have
in the
been
past.
done. In fact, just in the spring, there was a night that was hosted by I don't know which group hosted it, but it was a family fun night in the elementary school, and it was mobbed. I think they had something like 400 people come in and, blow the bubbles and play the basketball and paint pictures.
So there's an example of, if you get the right activity, you do get a lot of parent involvement.
But that's at the elementary level, and I would really like to see more of it at the middle and high school level, because that's where, but it
So
might
we can work
represent
on
itself differently.
Yeah, we can work on that, but in all fairness, it's not uncommon that as the kids go through the grades, that the drop-off rate of
Yes.
parent participation decreases, even,
But it might not be parent participation,